Hey everyone, welcome to Heavy Metal. I'm sure that some of y'all have been watching the channel for a long time, probably remember my friend Tim. If you don't, you need to go back through the playlist he brought out in 1919. It was a blast to shoot. See the
MG42 clone and the MG3 clone.
Yes, and them were awesome. He's always cooking up some kind of wicked firearm here or there or somewhere and building it, and just does a great job. Which you have a YouTube channel. What is your channel specifically?
It's Tim Miller. It should just fall under Tim Miller. I've got more or less my builds on there, just really short clips. I usually don't do any talking in them. I've got the MG42s, some smaller stuff on there. I'm wanting to start putting some machining and welding videos on there. It's just trying to build up the really the tools to do proper videos, and more importantly the skills that I'm building up to feel qualified to put those videos on YouTube.
Oh, I think you're plenty qualified. I've seen him build stuff, and I just tell you, you need to go over and just look at some of his stuff. I think it's cool. If I have an issue with a firearm and I can't figure it out, I'll call Tim. And he'll be like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's that right there and this and that and other thing. And then, well, yeah, no crap. Bam, there you go, and it's fixed. But enough of that. That's a lot of yapping that I'm throwing out there. This is a little bit of a teaser video. Next week, Tim's going to bring some ammo back, and we're going to take this thing out shooting. Explain to them what kind of critter you got here.
Alright, so this is what's known as a 37mm repeating launcher. It's basically, as far as the government's concerned, this is a flare gun. Nothing more than a pyrotechnic device. Now, if this were rifled and or chambered in 40mm, it would be considered a destructive device. As is right now, again, this isn't a firearm, it's not a destructive device, it's just a toy. What's really cool about this is, here in the last few years, they've really done a great job engineering reloadable shells for these things, and that's what really makes this more of a usable item versus just a wall hanger. And when I do come back, I'll bring some of those shells and I'll kind of walk you through how those work, and we'll do some shooting with it.
Cool.
So yeah, again, this is just a 37mm smooth bore. There's no rifling in this barrel here, and that's very important. They make rifled barrels, but at that point it becomes a destructive device and has to go through the NFA loopholes. So we'll kind of go over how this guy works. So here's your ladder sight right here, and that has a rough range estimation. This is actually a modified ladder sight off of a M203 grenade launching system. This particular model has the folding stock, and if any of you guys are into older, say NFA type firearms, you'll recognize the back portion and the stock is the exact same thing off of a Striker 12 gauge. Basically they retrofitted it to accept the larger drum up here and the larger barrel. And this thing is literally just a double action revolver. We'll go ahead and open this up here. That's what these two tabs are for. They open up the drum. You can see inside the cylinders here.
That's wicked.
And unlike a regular revolver, this has kind of like a clock spring in it. So right now it's unwound, so if you pull the trigger it wouldn't move, but you would reach in here and you would twist this, and then that would put spring pressure in there so that when you pull the trigger, you can I'm not going to dry fire this because there's no round in there to stop the firing pin, but you can still cycle it through. You can hear it going through like that. And I think it's just wicked cool. It's like I said, it's just a big revolver.
That is just a trip.
Well, that's not exactly a small revolver, but I'm sure they'll get the point.
Yeah, and for comparison, all of y'all know my BFR. That is a big revolver. But compared to this thing, not so much. Yeah. I need one of them. That would be awesome.
They sell them on Gunbroker. That's where I got this one. I believe this one came out of a prison somewhere. And as far as law enforcement and corrections officers are concerned, the reason they went with 37 millimeters, one, it's cheaper, and two, they really don't need rifling because they're shooting bean bags, rubber buckshot, tear gas, stuff like that. That's more like towards a crowd dispersal or, what would you say, in the case of a jail riot or something like that.
Yeah, but as far as something like this goes, for the average civilian like us, we can obtain this. And then we can get cool rounds like flares, dragon's breath,
Yep.
and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely need one of these. And a couple of fire extinguishers for out back to go with it. That is just awesome.
And you can load pretty cool rounds for these. Pretty much the hottest round you can load for these is what's known as a bird bomb. And a bird bomb, there's no gray area with this. Everything about these are very well documented as far as the loading and not putting anti-personnel rounds in or near the weapon. It's all out there and it's easily searchable.
Good, cut and clear. Right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no weird gray area. Now, with that being said, I would be worried if I got pulled over with this trying to explain this to a Woodbury cop. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's why you don't speed when you have this in your car. But, yeah, pretty cool stuff. And the way you achieve accuracy with this is you have fin projectiles. So, again, this has no rifling in the barrel. And the projectiles don't squeeze into the barrel like they do with a normal gun. It more or less just floats in there. And so this barrel length really isn't, it's null and void. This barrel could be this long and the feet per second wouldn't change on this. Like I said, it dumps all of its energy pretty quickly.
Oh, cool.
And I'll show you some different projectiles that I have. I have some that I've made and some that were professionally 3D printed. And they're pretty neat how they achieve accuracy out of these things. So yeah, looking forward to bringing this thing back out and doing some shooting with it.
Yes, now that is just awesome. Well, guys, I know we're not going to shoot it today, but Tim just happened to stop by for a visit, and I was just chit-chatting about guns. And he pulls this out of the truck and says, hey, and I'm like, hey, hold on, let me get the camera. We've got to get this thing on YouTube. But this is awesome. Like I say, keep your eyes and ears open. The next chance Tim has, maybe next weekend if he's not too busy, because he works a lot, and I mean a lot. He'll dig up some rounds, and we'll take this thing out to the range, and we'll find us some good targets and just do some launching and have a little fun. That is just awesome. Everybody, thank Tim for bringing it by. And like I say, if you're into this kind of stuff, the older military things that Tim builds and works on, just run over there to his channel and check it out. It's just Tim Miller at YouTube. And hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, throw him a subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Well, y'all, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed the
37 millimeter rotary launcher.
There we go. I know I enjoyed looking at it. Things a trip. When you hold it, you want to say stuff like get to the chopper and things like that. It's cool. But y'all, throw me down some comments. Hit us up on Patreon. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until the next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.
Take it easy, y'all.